100%, someone saying 100% has bought and paid for by the blue and white, or yeah. There's no other reason to be doing this to me, is there? He's saying he's got a personal thing against me because of being talking about him. Well, if that's the case, he doesn't like truth. I'm not lying. I only spoke about his immediate family when he was being horrendous with his troops. He had all people coming at me that were like speaking on me family, doing pictures of me mother, video Craig, humbled Riot, all these weird sick people doing mad things, coming into people's lives with all mad. I've got videos there that would absolutely disgust the life out of you, and it's of them. You know, you've got to understand the circles up there. Look, this is what happens. I've just got to, for me to explain it, I've got to explain the situation in 2005. And then you get a true aspect of it. But it's long-winded. I've explained myself too many times on it. All the individuals you hear me mention, whether it's Billy Moore, Sean Atwood, Marvin Herbert, James English, and others who I can't be asked speaking about, they all came in together. All of them. Billy Moore was helping James English cancel me. That's why I scream about him. Setting up places he could interview other Scousers so Scousers could drop little madness about me. That's what he started doing. All Scousers that was aligned with the criminal networks in Liverpool loved him, started giving him places for free. You can use this studio for nothing, James. These are Scousers that hated Darren G. You know, criminals that have popped into the studio world. In Liverpool, you've got studios and podcast suites, and the financial backing comes from organised criminals. Fact. But as I say, I don't want to start delving into this situation is English and Herbert and me, and always has been the case from the get-go. You've heard me, mate, all these new people coming into the situation, listening to what I'm talking over an 8-year period. It was English and Herbert that came in and cancelled me. And they used every little irrelevant thing, made them relevant so they could help the process. Herbert and English, I've been saying to you for years, it's them two. They put up a big smoke screen and I'm dealing with all these knobheads going off me barney, dealing with knobheads who are not there now. Back in jail, beating birds on drugs, came out, got a wage off him, flew for a little 8 months, was used, not given any more traffic, and just died off and went missing. But the damage to me was horrendous. And you all know who they are. You know, that's what I mean. Some of these will develop a conscience. Some of them will grow up. Some of them will come away from these groups that are using and abusing them, and they'll start reflecting on themselves. Because we all go through that. The real people, if you've been lost in a madness, if you were decent when you were young before you're lost in the madness, you'll come back out up here and you reflect and you'll go through all your wrongdoings and it'll hurt you. Why? Because I'll still be over here screaming, choose a life, not a knife. Not harming no one, not infringing on no one's rights, not coming in from one space trying to destroy their press, their whatever they're going through. And you'll be thinking, hell, you will, it'll happen. There's quite a few of yous. And I spoke about yous, I'll mention your names. They're not going to get back involved. Why? Because they're all still the same circle. They'll be talking about this. But over the years, the same person that has been cancelling me out, that same person has got onto people like he's their best mate. Got in them, yeah, you do this about that, and you want to jump on board with that, and they went, yeah, thinking friendship, when all the damage was done and everything was used to dropped to the sidelines. Now here we are 2-3 years later, them people are victims themselves. Why? Because I know what your first podcast does, and if you're left over the there with like mad traffic, you're reopening mad shit for yourself. A lot of them would have suffered horrendous getting involved in that. They do. Karma's bad, you know. Karma's bad. I don't give a... It exists, and I might be feeling it. I don't feel like I'm feeling it now. I've felt it and dealt with it, I believe. Enough of it. But all them, they're doing things where in their life they're consistently getting bad karma back. Even if they become trolls for like 3 months and then get their heads together for a little 7 when they leave the shit alone, and then they get back on the drink and the shit, and then they just turn into that dirty shit again. That cycle of events comes back. So you'll get a load of shit after recover. Load of shit after recover. Why? Because you're giving out a load of shit, recovering. Giving out a load of shit, recovering. Taking loads of drugs, targeting people, trying to ruin people, going into recovery, not doing it. It comes back in the same cycle. And that's what's going on with all them. As I said earlier on in this video, or this live feed, me engaging with him and his little weird thing, what he's doing over there, that weird way of himself, is going to slow his real process down. He's trying to jump back into my space for some reason, and I'm not allowing it. If I start allowing it and start scrapping with him here spiritually, because that's all he's after. He's after a back and forth, clickbait and psychological and distraction type sort of scenario. Ignore him, he's knocking at doors and all this shit. This is pussycat behaviour. Isn't it? Think about it, lad. The only way his process slows down, and mine, is if I engage with him like last time. Like last time, just flying, destroyed us overnight. But we never, what we never done, we nearly lost it. Could have ended up going back out, turning criminal. Anyone else would have gone through that shit, someone my calibre, probably wouldn't have been able to contain themselves and would have ended up ruining themselves in the process. Trust me, mate, you can't, it's very difficult to take abuse off a gang of dickheads on a regular basis, you know, and not like eventually go, this, I've got to teach these a lesson, because that's what that'll be. Look, I'm not going to start being this, that and now. I'm moving past that shit. If I carry on behaving like that, I won't move past it. But you understand where I'm coming from. Sensible people know what they're saying. You've got a firm of dickheads on social media. They haven't been in prison cells all their lives. And if they have, I'm not saying this makes you any harder. I'm not saying this, I'm in prison cells all my life because I'm going through a horrendous experience and it didn't finish me. It just made me stronger. So now I'm here now dealing with a gang of amateurs that think because I'm in the physical world, they can scream all mad shit. I'm right. I'm not in the criminal world. So I can't go out acting criminal. If I was in the criminal world, James English would have got hospitalised in 2021. Do you understand what I'm saying to you people? And every helmet with them. If I was in a criminal world, I wouldn't have to go near every helmet. I'd deal with one or two and everyone else would shut up. Honest to God. And that's not being big-headed. I'm not a criminal. So I've got to learn to react non-criminal. I can't run out going, all right, let's get it on, like I'm a big, violent, aggressive criminal, because I'm not. I can have a fight, I can use next level violence, but I'm not criminal. I don't earn money through crime. I don't mix with crime. I don't mix with criminals. I don't frequent them faces. I speak on it. Why? Because it ruined me. And it's ruined thousands and thousands of kids up and down the country. What do I identify as the major risk to your kids? It's not the immigrants. It's not them down there or them down there. It's the gang on the streets with the guns who are running around killing people for these 40-year-old millionaires who don't give a shit about us. They don't care. They're lost in a mess. I know what I done. I fully understand what I've done and I'm not willing to sit back and let that kid of yours go under. That kid whose ma and dad's already gone end up I'm not willing. You see, half of these who are my age, they've been through the system. Not as much as me. Not as harsh as me. Why? Because they never had a reputation or a name. They're just dirty, dying weasels that manipulate kids to make money. When they go to jail, they go to jail for supplying drugs, not violence. Alongside them, they've got kids going to jail, getting longer sentences. And why? Because them kids were doing the violence. Do you understand? They know the impact on that young man's life like I do. They can envision that mum who worked all her life, all of a sudden, her door's getting took off the hinges, not just by the law, by opposing gangs who are looking for stashes. Do you understand? It just brings pure destruction into this young man's life. And as I keep on stating, once he starts it and gets embroiled in it, it's a 20-year situation. And he'll be in, out, in, out, in, out, if he's lucky enough not to get a life sentence or shot dead. Out of every 500 gangbangers that start doing this shit today, you've got one being shot dead. And there is hundreds of thousands of kids slipping in to that mindset. I'd even lower the figure. I'd say 1 out of 200 kids getting involved in that sort of mentality end up shot dead or serious. And I'd put it louder. Out of 200 kids, 110 of them kids end up with scars and trauma. Internal and external scars. That's what you're dealing with. And the shit they're getting encouraged to be like as men, that's just an aggravating factor. When you've got your weird so-called self-propelled identity of men out there that are screaming it's okay to damage birds, it's okay to take drugs, it's okay to deal drugs, firearms is how you get shit done, using knives is how you... On all levels, you've got your Andrew Tates on supposedly a high level, and you've got your Sam Stalkers on the low level. It's just horrendous, mate. You need to understand. Choose a life, not a knife is about getting into the minds of your children. Nothing dirty, nothing this, nothing that. It's all light. It's all going, kid, don't cup. Half of you haven't got your dads round you. Half of you probably never heard of a man like me saying this in 2 years. I'm telling you straight as a man that was raised by a single parent. Don't break your mother's heart. Don't start getting a doorway in. Keep it real. Don't get confused. And come away from them that are breaking you down every year. And you'll end up in jail. You'll be nothing at the end of the process. You'll have to go into recovery, or you'll have to start repairing the damage to yourself that's done. Trust me, lads. If you're listening, I'm going to have a breather, people. But this is what I do. And this is what I've been trying to do for the minute I got out. I've just had these mad people coming into my space, setting the narrative and ruining me. Why? Because I jogged James English. Early days, jogged him on, pull the rug on the ayahuasca, pull the rug on the interview with that Sam Worth, pull the rug on going to Ibiza with all these podcasters, including Yami B, and we were. I pulled the plug on it. Why? I was the face of it. I agreed to it within days. He's putting posts on his platform, promoting it. A year away. I pulled the plug on it all 3 months later because I realised there's connection through Herbert to the Kinahans. That's why I come away from it. Too dangerous. Peace out, L5 show. Keep it real as always. There's a lot of cross-dressers in the podcasting world, people. Fancy dresses, let's say. Go to a party, a fancy dress, and dress as a woman, and it's legitimate. Apparently. English. Atwood. Billy Moore. Won't mention the others. You can't deny that. There's all shit about people's stories that is very untrue. You can't really confirm. Yeah, you might have got a book on the back of it, but when you're going to destinations full of certain crimes and individuals that thrive in them destinations, and you're ending up in prison and you invent yourself to be something, but the seed of the problem of why you was in prison is distorted. You haven't told the truth about your offences in Thailand that made you land in prison. Well, then shit gets a little bit heavy for certain podcasters out there, doesn't it? But as I say, cans of worms can be opened at any time. They can be stored in the cupboard for when you want to open them, okay? I'm not here to bullshit. I'm awaiting what these were about to do. I was telling you, something's coming, get ready. Yous that was listening to me, that's why you're standing strong with me. They're coming in to cancel me. It hasn't worked again, but they're not going to stop. They're still going to use these old people that they used last time. Amy Palin, she's never liked me. Why? Because I was always the one giving a shit for treating my brother like that. If the rain stopped and I'm going to the gym, but if it hasn't, I'm just going to cook myself some chicken. Future, understand why I'm here. It's not to have celebrity boxing matches with people that have been ruining themselves. Doesn't mean I'm not up for a boxing match. You know, if the platform's right and the opponent's right, I can dive at the chance. But none of them are the right opponents. I will not give any of them any of my energy. You can go and get any of them and put them in a fight. But Danny Christie had a little bit of pull. Why? Because he was getting pushed. He's not no, so it's coming away. I wouldn't fight none of these helmets. If I'm going to give some kid a platform that's going to... Look, whether you like it or not, I bring numbers. And if it was me in English having a scrap, no one would be watching it because in English, alright? Everyone would be tuning in to watch Darren G have a fight with English. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not a fighter, but it doesn't mean I can't fight. You let me get 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 20 weeks in camp, I'll go in front of anyone at numerous weights, mate. I can get down to 75 kg and get up to 95 kg and everything in between. But I don't need to. I can go in at 82 kg, 85 kg against a 95 kg, 96 kg, and I'll take his jaw off for him. Do you understand? Just make sure the opponent's not a little weasel, attention grabbing rat. Come with someone. I might get battered, but if you come with someone. You've got that fucking idiot, Darren Till, running round thinking he's offering Barney, screaming at everyone for fights like I'm irrelevant. I'd knock him squaring out. He knows it. Doesn't matter if you haven't got this big stable and you haven't been in the octagon and you haven't been this. That's all irrelevant. Bullshit. I've got a basic skill set on the deck. I've got a basic skill set on the bottom, on top and everywhere in between. And I can knock anything much. The spirit within him is ruined. He gives up when the shit hits the fan. Just watch his fights. He crumbles. The spirit just leaves him. He hasn't worked on that. Why? Because he's been jumping on the backs of people to get where he got to. And when it came to the crunch, the spirit let him down. I'm full of warrior spirit. Full of it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'll go toe to toe with any... if it's worth it. And they deserve it. If you've got a nugget coming up to you, I want you a straightener, assess it. You know, you're a big guy, man. Assess it. Has he got any chance? I've got a chance against that Darren Till. If he looks at me, I know, and he knows, if I get into a crumble with him, he's not going to win me, and I'm not going to win him. It's either way. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't care how many times he's fought on this. I've fought just as much, but I'm in jail in cells fighting. He's got audiences and corners and all this shit. Just because he haven't fought in an octagon doesn't mean he haven't fought most weeks in prison. That's my life, prison. We all develop our skills in different places. It doesn't mean anyone's better than me or better than you. You might have your belts. You might have all this big skill set. But if you get hit on that chin by a spiritual warrior that's made sure he's full of strength and power, you're getting wobbled. Doesn't matter who you are. You can be the best boxer in the world and you get hit on that chin, it's over for you. Yeah, you can throw all the combos in the world and then you get hit on the chin, you're finished. A lot of them kids haven't got powerful chins when it comes to knuckles. They just haven't. Why? Because every contact's cushioned. They've got gum shields to take in contact, or they've got neck guards on, or the gloves. It's all cushioned contact, if you see what I'm saying. So when you get one of them that's been beat up by gloves in years, and then get them square on the chin, bone to bone, it's no cushion, it's solid. It's not like bang, it's just bang, bang. You can't handle it, half of them. You get half of these so-called boxers, they come to fight you with gum shields in. It's cheating in a straightener, putting a gum shield in. I'm telling you, you put a gum shield in during a straightener, you're cheating. Yes, Johnny. As I say, I'm not a fighter. Never have been. I've always scrapped. But not because I'm instigating it. I don't instigate the shit. It just ends up in my face and I've got to deal with it. I'm not trained. I'm experienced. Go. Mr. G, don't let them wind you up. I know. I'm not. I'm winding myself up. They're not winding me up. I'm winding myself up as we're going further in. You know what I'm saying to you is, I need to go. I need to have a rest. I need to get a few hours. And I haven't gone, have I? And what's me demeanour turning like? Who am I starting to speak about now, and why? How deep am I going about it, and why? Do you get it? Triggered, aren't I? So before, when I recognised, boom, I'm triggered here for some reason. I'm saying to yous, I need to go. Normally wouldn't tell yous. I've just told yous now so you understand the dynamics here. Normally wouldn't go. I'm here an hour, half an hour later, boom. Sight shut. I'm missing for a week. They have a party on my name. I can't defend myself. But I must say thank you to you people. The ones that are posting the positive stuff. The ones that are backing me. The ones that are understanding that I'm not what they say. You know, you're seeing through all the bullshit like me. You can see what I am. You can see where I've come from. You can see what I'm doing. So my people, that's a sincere thank you to yous. I can see yous, I spot yous. You know, I watch just as much as everyone else. And it only goes one way. And me going forward, need to recognise that, see the way I'm triggered now? If I remain triggered for hours and hours and hours, I come off me live, I'm still triggered. And it's mad. Got anxiety now. Butterflies now. Stomach dead tense when it shouldn't be. See? Look. I'm not sensing. Everything's just gone thin. So now I won't be able to eat. The appetite's being subdued off the anxiety. Do you get what I'm saying? This is what I deal with every time I get triggered. And these events where I've got knobheads coming into my space, it gets me triggered. It makes me sound erratic. It makes me sound like I'm not in control of what I could do next. I've always got to reiterate to people that I would never harm women and children. I would never do this. Why? Because when I'm triggered, I start going back to thoughts back then where I'd want to go in and that organised crime group family and just take the whole family out. So here I am now, 8 years later, don't really have that, never do that, but I'm getting triggered, put back 8 years ago with these. Because what they've done, it's a big trigger and offence in my life because I'm dealing with trauma already. And this isn't sympathy votes, this is just telling you how it is. This is why you might see me hitting a nail on the head all the time. It doesn't even matter when I'm triggered, I still don't lie when I'm triggered. I just speak about shit that shouldn't be spoke about when you're triggered. But I'm triggered now, that's why you're getting me up and down, up and no effort, make me feel great. Little bit of movement, loosening the joints off. All while I'm sat down. Imagine what I'd be like if I was stood up. I'm great, you know. I am absolutely fantastic. When did the new things come in? I thought they came in on the 25th. Nice one for that giraffe, happy go lucky. Yeah, scans the gran up, you will. SBB, Julian, Bruce. Stood up, you know that. What, did you get stood up? Did you go on a date and got stood up? And now you're back with a wine attack, gift and Dazza G, a giraffe. What are you insinuating, girl? Yes, Nathaniel. Thomas. Should open a Q&A in for the podcast. All the questions would be daft, wouldn't we, lads? Yeah, but you can filter them. No, but I'm unfiltered, mate. What I'm seeing is... Let's just talk about a TikTok thing situation. All of a sudden we bring out these agencies. And these agencies pop in everywhere. And they take control of all them greedy ones. Look, we can make you more money. Bang, they all lock in. They observe these beggars and these greedy ones, sit back, and then when it's time to clear up the gutter, look through the agencies. Who's just a money grabber? Who's really creative? Who's not? So they're looking for the quality now, aren't they? And them agencies is where the evaluating is. Who's good, who's not. I've never really participated with any of them. Because I'm not a money grabber. If that makes sense. If there's money there and it's offered to me, thanks, but I'm not like that. I need money because I've got a coke addiction. It's Friday. I've got to be crazy tonight to get some dough for me white. I know. I over express myself sometimes, don't I? Let's keep it going, people. Choose a life, not a knife. Darren G. The place is real. The place is real. The place within, deep within enlightenment. You think it's darkness. It's very bright. Do you remember the Swinburne in Houston? That means I'm from the UK. I'm from the United Kingdom. What's the United Kingdom? Scotland, Wales, England, Ireland. The British Empire. That's why they don't like us getting called United Kingdom, you know. Coming away from that shout. We are the United Kingdom. All of on these streets are Scottish lads, us Welsh lads, us English lads, us Irish lads. the real United Kingdom. And it can become united, and it can become a kingdom again. How? If we all stood together against the rich, bureaucratic rats who run our lives. No? I can see yous like, I know there's a handful of yous there listening thinking, wow, that's on my page. Yes, honey bear, you good? Poppy? Choose your life, not a knife, the United Kingdom. We don't have to scream at them, do we? They haven't got a knife crime problem in their communities, after the rich. They haven't got a gun crime problem in their communities, after the rich. They haven't got addictions breaking their families down the way we have they? The rich. They haven't got thousands of people dying through chronic diseases, have they? The rich. The kids are not getting Alzheimer's, the kids are not getting ADHD, they're not getting all these psychological behaviour patterns that kids are picking up in our communities. There's nothing with their kids, does it? The rich. Look how many of your sons are sitting in jail. Doesn't happen with their sons, does it? The rich ones. And when you start understanding that we are the poor ones and they are the rich ones, and they're only rich because of the poor ones, start hitting home a little bit more. That your ma, your dad, your nan, your granddad work themselves in a grave for them rich twats. You're currently on the same path. Working mad hours, can't even raise your kids correct. They work as least hours as they can, getting paid hundreds of grands, spending pure time with their kids, spending them hundreds of grands on their kids' education. Meant to raise your kids. You're not meant to. That's why they put the school there. So they can raise your kids. So they can condition your kids. So they can get your kids ready to make their kids be able to work a couple of hours a week for hundreds of grands in Parliament. You understand what I'm saying? Being like that since you were born, lad. Since I was born, since your ma was born, since your nan came from Ireland, you've been set into work, and that's it. Here we are. No one giving a shit. Why? Because you're distracted by bullshit. You're distracted by money they're spending. Where's our tax money going? That's not your money. Your money goes into the pockets of them who were sitting there. That money in the centre here is like business from around the world, incomings, outgoings. All your tax dough goes in their pockets on their travel flights, the office, the phone bills, all this. That's what your tax goes on. Your council buildings. It doesn't go on the immigrants. It's a valid point. Golly, I'm saying, can you help me? Spiritually, yes. Physically, no. Why? Because you don't know yet. Don't know where you are. Don't know who you are. Don't know what your agenda is. Don't know what your incentives are. Could you be a trap? Could you be a little fart? Could you be a little ball of wind that stinks like poison? How are you, Sarah? Claire, Wings of Love. You're alright, Claire, mate. Thanks for being a sub. Nice one on me there for these helmets. Going into acting mode then. Yes, Claire, one.
Darren, my liverpool. I'm so sick of men using women and children. Well, all men have got problem with the birds these days. And yeah, it is drugs, men, drink, men, all this stuff. But women,
They've got, you know, they need to take responsibility for some of their manly behaviour. And it is what it is, it's what the government have done. They turn loads of our beautiful girls into men, encourage them to train like men, encourage them to eat like men. Before you know it, because most gyms are male dominated, these girls are being encouraged to train like men, so they're going into these areas. Yes, honey bear. Speaking like men. You've got birds speaking like their ex-fellas when they're going with new relationships. You got girls acting like men, fighting like men in the streets. Do you understand what I mean? If you've got a man and he's in a relationship and he's fighting every day with a woman, it's going to end, and it'll end very, very bad if the man hasn't got the sight to see where it's going. You see what a woman's meant to be for a man, people. You all scream about, wow, men's mental health deteriorating. Majority of the times because of the woman they're with. No one likes to admit it because, oh, it's this. No, it's not. It's fact. Most men deteriorate in confidence, become full of insecurities because of the woman they're with. And the majority of the time is because the woman's acting like a man, aggressive, trying to be controlling, trying to do this, trying to do that. Most of the time, that's why men won't go near women half the time, because we've had bad experiences. And this isn't me like hating on women, because it goes both ways. Why is it going both ways? Because women are being encouraged to fight that thing in house. Your nan grew up, she'd have a job, but it'll be a few hours a day. Wouldn't be full time. Grandad would be full time. Grandad would be doing the long trips and big mat jobs to bring the dough in. Nan, few hours a day, looking after the kids. What your nan was like, that's the way it was. Your nan had her position, she'd get the dinner ready, she'd nurture the children, she'd prepare the children for the streets, she'd take them for walks, she'd take them out on a daily basis. Why? Because she'd do 3 hours in that factory and then come home and get back on a real purpose in life. Everyone, because it's all about the money with government. So why are we just wasting all these bodies sat at home when we could have them working? When we can put them in the workplace? And this is what you're doing now, this is what they're doing. As I said earlier on, you don't raise your kids, the school does. Why? Because you're poor. If you were rich, you'd be raising your kids, wouldn't you? From the ages of 7, 8, you wake your kids up. Some years are slow, some years are too early. However, your kids are getting out of bed fucked. But like this, you're getting them dressed. Come on, get your breakfast, come on, get in the car. Bang, 9 o'clock at school, see you later. And you're off and leave your kid in an institution that's locked from 9 till 3 every day, Monday to Friday. You think that's raising your kid? I think that institution's raising your kid for you. Fact, simple as. Why? Some of you are working, some of you aren't. The ones that are working aren't home. One of you maybe, it's all rush, 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 get home, get the tea. Kids are getting tea at 7 o'clock these days. Why? Everyone's rushing about, got too much to do, paying bills. Paying bills. You're not paying for a new roof on the building you own, like your nan and granddad used to do. You're paying bills.
coming in here, going out there. Every year.
We see you battling those
How much did you spend last year?
Buscopan targets the cramps and starts relieving pain.
How come you couldn't save that?
Buscopan, your belly pain specialist.
Who are you paying bills to?
Introducing the new Vauxhall Frontera.
Oh.
The SUV that
Do you get what I'm saying?
adventures.
Some don't have to. Some are born into affluent households,
With the Frontera,
like the rich.
Vauxhall has teamed up with Disney's Lilo and Stitch to give you the chance to win a trip to Hawaii. To enter, visit your local Vauxhall retailer.
There's no one on your estate in Liverpool that's rich. They might have all the wealth in materials, but if something went wrong with the banking system, that's gone. When you're rich, I mean, like, internally it's a different process. When you're rich, you're a cash millionaire. You're not a paper millionaire like all these whiffs. Get themselves to shit restaurants, value it at 1.1 million. Oh, now I'm a millionaire. No, you're not. You've got a shit gaff. You're filtered with shit stock. You got a bent accountant, and he priced the stock in that gaff as 1.2 million. So now on paper in that bank, you've got stock that's valued at 1.2 million, which lets you get a mortgage on there. We'll let you get a car there. We'll let you get a watch over there. But you're skint as that shop gets torched, you're done. Major debt. Why? Because you can't pay your bills on all these things, and then you get billed on top of the bill. It's been happening for years. You can do it. You can do it. Go and get an empty shell on your road and fill it with phone cases. Go and get a bent accountant, tell him to value it at 500 grand. Go and do the same along the road. Another empty shell, fill it with bog rolls and shower gels and cleaning products. Bent accountant, 600 grand. There you go, you're a millionaire. Do that in 2 years. That's simple, really. You know, when you're walking down your streets and you're seeing all these Asian fellas with the shittest shops in the world just sat there, not a customer in the world, but the millionaires. Why? Because of the stock. Most of the time it's not because they own the building, because the stock inside's being valued at this much. Anyway, there's a little insight for you. Oh, Darren, you need to tour and come to Ireland. I will do when I'm ready, mate. When I'm able to. Just get into Ireland, cost a bomb, then slip in there for a week or 2 or 3 or 4. And I've had offers, come over, you can live in mine. I can't do that. I can't live in people's houses, mate. I've tried it years ago. I've done it all my childhood. Sleeping on couches in the backs of cars and shit. You know, when you're on the streets as a kid, breaking into cars and sleeping in backs of neighbours' cars and shit. I like my own space, like. I just can't tolerate people, not in a bad way, just like, everyone's different the way they live, aren't they? Everyone's just different the way they live. And it's alright for a night. You know, a night's sweet, 2 nights okay, but then if it starts dragging into, like, you just end up...
Why does my cat keep headbutting me?
It's just weird for me. Can't handle it. Happy-go-lucky says, set in your ways. Not really. I can have this door kicked in now, gunmen come, and I've got to go and get my head down in that hotel room. Just got my bike gone. I can get my head down anywhere if I've got to. But if you haven't got to, I'm not going to. As I say, mate, I'll go to Ireland. It's been on since a kid.
before my nana passed away, I was speaking with her and we're discussing going to see a family in Southern Ireland. But then she passed away. She passed away 3 nights after they tried to kill me, you know. Hang on. 2 nights after she had, around the same time they tried to kill me in 2018, she passed away. Might have been the same night, to be honest with you, you know. Because I can remember going to the house, all dramatic. Me ma and the sisters are in there and I'm on the step. And they're just going, whoa, what's wrong with you? I was like, mad. Then again, it was earlier actually. That month was mad, you know. Mad, mate. April and all that, it's like it's weird. It's like a load of mad shit comes at me round the months. But I think it's where I'm calling it on. Yes, rivals. I think it's where I'm anticipating. Here we go then, April. And it just like comes. Instead of going, yeah, it's April, I'm going to get from Brewster's now. I'm going, shit, it's April. Know what I mean? Ignore me when I start doing this. I just end up on the beat. Look the shoulder bar. Couldn't get it out, you know. Have you seen the chest bar? You got the moves and all that. Nothing special, but you know, my moves. You can see it, only slightly, but it's moving. Yeah, it's only there. Thank you, mate, for that Jeep. Coming over a sandstorm. This guy says Benny Blanco. What's going down, lad? You getting high, my guy? Yes, Irish son. Happy go lucky. The tiger. How you been, Daz? Sound, John? Yo. Who your next fight, Daz? I'm not a fighter, lad. You're not learning that. I'll defend myself, mate. I'll batter Darren still. Go on, underestimate me, kid. All years have underestimated me for all my life, haven't you? Not all years. Going on like you knew me since I was a kid. Come on, Daz, do the bar arm aside on. Go on, Mike, lad. How fast do you want me to go, lad? She'll tense me tricep when I'm doing it. Yes, Jill. Misfits, Daz. They're just side revenue streams, aren't they, for these promoters and people that are making money out of boxing. They're not really anything to do with the history of boxing. Them promotions. That makes sense. That makes sense. In the sense like, look, Top Rank. Top Rank, do you know how long that's been getting screamed at? I can remember that from a kid. And then you've got Misfits. It's in the way. People that don't fit in to the real world of boxing are sitting over there on Misfits, getting paid money to destroy boxing. Yes, Stuart, I'm sorry, mate, you good? Do you understand what I mean? There's a reason why it's called Misfits, because they don't fit in the real area of boxing. Yes, honey. Thanks a lot, lad. Boxing a technique, boxing's a spirit.
all martial arts have got a spiritual aspect to it, and boxing, although it's not a martial art because it's not oriental. The only reason boxing is not a martial art is because it's not oriental, isn't it, really, if you think about it? It's a contact sport like every other. But the difference with boxing is it's an English combat sport, isn't it? And like everything else is oriental, is it not? Right, kung fu, karate, jiu-jitsu. That was just called something jiu or something like that back then. Kickboxing, is that English? It's out here. Irish boxing, it's a Christian sport, isn't it? Well, here we go again. But I've always thought that's the difference. But at the same time, anyone can box, anyone can kickbox, anyone can do jiu-jitsu. You only need 12 weeks. Kickboxing is tired, yeah. You only need 12 weeks to do any of that. But you won't have the... So look, it's a valid point what I'm making, you know. MMA fighters think I hate them all. But they're not getting what I'm saying. They're just not getting what I'm saying. So look, you can get a kid who's 13 and you can put him into an MMA class and he will be good at jiu-jitsu, good at Muay Thai, good at Greco-Roman, good at American wrestling, good at everything, alright? He'll be good at everything. He'll be able to strike, defend, it's everything. He's good at everything. But he's got all that in 5 years. He's got it all in 5 years. That kid there, MMA, got one of them skills in 5 years. You're not creating a warrior there. Are you? You're not creating a warrior there. I don't give a shit what you say. Whereas if you've got that kid 13 and he taps into boxing, there's a spiritual aspect to it. It's not just all physical. There's a proper spiritual alignment thing. You can see it. You can see the development, how fluent they become with the universe, how fast and this isn't like you can see a boxer who's boxed all his life and then someone that's tapped in it later on. You can see the difference massively. Huge. Whereas you can't really see the difference if a boxer's been boxing for 22 years and all of a sudden steps into the MMA world. You can't tell the difference. All you know, he's a better striker than what he is anything else in there. But he's got every skill set to be in there. So for example, again, you can get a boxer who's been boxing for 25 years and a year later have him MMA, perfect, having a good scrap with well-known MMA fighters. Whereas you can't get an MMA fighter like Darren and put him over there and a year later he's been boxing the highest levels. You know, it takes them years to understand the game, it takes them years to even configure anything about it. So you're looking at Darren Till on these misfits platforms, that's where he belongs. He doesn't belong over there. He belongs where the people are coming in, dead weight in the boxing world, getting the dough, getting a little bit of names, and then Misfit shuts down in 2 years, and everyone in it, and all the belts, and all these big people thinking they're winning these titles, just get shoved in the gutter and go with the water. And then you have the likes of Carl Froch, Frampton, all these people over here, still within the real boxing world, still getting mentioned 20 years down the line. Do you understand? Like what's happening here with Till is, down the line, he will be remembered as getting fucked by Mazerville. He won't get remembered about, oh, he knocked this kid out in Misfits. Do you understand what I'm saying? If your kid's in jiu-jitsu for 6 months, comes out the other side with a purple belt, he's not developed the spirit as a jiu-jitsu artist. If your kid goes into an MMA centre and a year later has got a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, trust me, he's developed no spirit in there. None. And this isn't me hating. This is me just saying, look, if you're going to put your kids into anything, put them into one discipline to begin with. Give them 5-8 years in this one discipline. Why? Because you're developing the spirit. You're developing the warrior within. Because you're hearing all these people on, you need consistency, always get in the gym, always get in. I understand that, but you're not being consistent in one thing. So you're not challenging the monotonous rigmarole. You're not consistently going up against that wall. Why? Because on Monday you're doing your jiu-jitsu, and then on Wednesday it's boxing, and then on Friday it bang. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Friday, jiu-jitsu for the next 5 years. That's being consistent. That's getting up and going at it again. The same discipline, the repetition of moves, the repetition of submissions, all this. Most of your development is when you're hitting a brick wall, to be honest with you. When you've just got to keep going till you reach that spot. Brick wall, brick wall, brick wall, brick wall, brick wall. That's where most of the development is. If you're getting up to a brick wall and then going, oh, now I'll do some kickboxing or Muay Thai, and then going back onto the same discipline and getting to the same wall, and then going, oh, but now we're going on to Muay Thai. It develops a lot for your kids in the same sense of you've got one master, you've got one leader, educating your kid for the next 5-10 years, and everyone that's in this place with them. In the MMA, Monday you've got a Muay Thai teacher, Wednesday you've got a Brazilian teacher, blah blah, Friday another teacher. Do you get what I'm saying? 3 different masters in 1 week, all telling your kids, all controlling your kids in their way. Some have got a moral compass, some haven't, some have built the spirit, some have just got the technique. And it's the men with the spirit that you want instructing your kids. It's them men that have done them long years in karate, long years in Muay Thai. They're the ones. You don't want these kids that have done all their lives but never made it in any competition. But they've been trained Monday kickboxing, Tuesday this, da-da-da. You want that one sensei that is in a 6th-dan position, spent decades at this shit, speaking to your kids as a leader, challenging the insecurities that they've got. And this is what you get in like a kickboxing centre, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu centre, a boxing centre. This is what you get if they've got the one boss. Not necessarily boxing, because that's more group training orientated, isn't it? But every other discipline, whether it's karate, jiu-jitsu, all the other arts that they use in MMA, the ones who have stayed in the disciplines, they're the ones with the real spirit. If you go into a karate venue, you will see the composed, peaceful, tranquil environment. And then if you go into an MMA centre, you will just see the complete chaotic madness that's going on in there. Where would you want to train your kid? Trust me. Does that, you think a playroom, do you think a playground's bad for your kid in school? One of them MMA centres, not all of them. Get your shit in a twist, not all of them. Some of them are just very, very bad places to have your kids. I don't care. What you've got to think about with that karate club there, everyone's in there for karate. Everyone's in there for karate. Everyone wants a white belt, brown belt, green belt, black belt, all this. There's incentives. Your kids get incentives every year. He can gain this, stand up on a stage. When he's standing up on that stage collecting that white belt, you're underestimating the stage fright that's being removed out of the spirit of this kid. Most kids can't stand up on a stage to shite. Your kid's in karate, he's got to. Part of the process. So as he gets older, he's used to being on the stage. He's not shocked by crowds. And this is the dynamics for your kids. A lot of people won't understand it, mate. But the mature ones will. And again, I'm not hating. I'm not hating on you MMA kids that are getting caught up in it, but you've got to understand, mate. Majority of them are not getting to anywhere near cage rage. Never mind UFCs and promote. They're not getting there. So you're just going to end up with an aggressive kid with a multi-skill set, but no warrior within. And he'll crumble later on. Whereas that kid who went into that karate dojo at the 8 or 10 or something like that, younger, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, he's getting developed off this fella that's been in the thing. He hasn't mixed with this, hasn't mixed with that, hasn't gone over there. Everyone in there is getting taught in a peaceful, respectful, not all sorts of hip-hop in the background when they're doing it. No adults in the corner sparring, rah, 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 and kids over here getting drill circuits, then people over there sweating their back out, and then you've got your children here trying to be learnt off some kid whose face is smashed in. Chaotic as over there. It's all about not being harmed. It's all about evasive action. Not about going on the mat and just getting pummeled for someone that wants to be a champion. You know, you're not sparring in this dojo. Your little girl's not getting her nose broke. She's developing the skills internally, externally to defend herself in this big world. She's not going in there every day grappling with women and all this mad shit, getting injuries and being when they're older. Trust me when I'm saying it, lad, it's a valid point. If you're not putting your kid into a certain area to become the best he can become in that area, don't put him in there to be up. Because that's what half of you men and women are doing with your kids. You're putting them into MMA gyms and you're bringing them up. Internally more than anything. And that's the problem with them all later on in life. Loads and loads of kids get sold dreams, get yourself in the gym, you'll be the next champion. Half of them end up just getting beat up and then don't become nothing. And you see them when they're 28, see his nose, breathing injuries here, just trying to get by in life like the hard and shit, and you're just not. You're damaged off the career path you went on. You're damaged off it. You never got all from it neither. Whereas your kids can go over there, go into that place, and because it's got the spiritual aspect, it's not a stressful situation. You know, your kid can go in there at lunchtime, do an hour workout, and not be off it, and go back to work. Why? Because it's more, you know, it's just like, whereas in there it's wrestling, grappling, you're walking out of there sometimes. It's very hard to like be normal here and be an MMA fighter. Total respect for them people that manage to remain in there and get to them platforms that you all want to be on. But even the MMA world today, that's what it's full of now. It's full of people with skill sets without the spiritual warrior from the discipline within. So when I was growing up, you had like, you seen the brawlers, you had your Matt Hughes, an American wrestler, basically. And American wrestling's not really spiritual, do you understand? It's just like, and you've seen them brawlers, but then you've seen the ones who had the spiritual warrior, like your St. George Pierre. Now these are real martial artists, like your St. George Pierre, from a kid in that one discipline, got the spiritual aspect to it, shows it when he's in there with his gi on and shit and he's representing. You can see a real spiritual warrior within this kid, but then you can't see the same in that kid. Why? Because he's a brawler with a skill set. My man spent 20 years on that discipline, learned these later on, and went in there and dominated it with his prime skill set. I know it was long-winded, but we finally got there. So when I'm saying MMA fighters are just brawlers with skill sets, this is what I'm on about. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you'll have a Matt Hughes and you'll have a St. George Pierre. And back in the day, you had more of them competitors in there. These days, you've got more brawlers with a skill set than what you have the spiritual warrior from a martial arts discipline. It's the point I'm making, really. So I'll use that can't grasp. I've been getting a lot of hate. See in comments when I put that video out about Till's just a brawler with a skill set. Always has been. Smelly Belly Kelly, a brawler with a skill set. There's probably a few people that you're not aware of in the MMA spaces, but they're not getting put in the spaces they belong in. Why? Because of the personalities. Why? Because they're spiritual. So they're not fitting into the current climate of you don't bring no traffic. So you're not valuable on these platforms. So we don't really want to engage with you because you can't make money for us. Why? Because their spirit keeps them calm, keeps them away from the party scenes, keeps them off the coke, so when you're on camera a few days later you're not coming down and just chatting major shit like Darren Till does. You understand what I'm saying to you? Anyway, let's keep it going, but let it flowing. Got loads of people trying to come in me live, you know. Why? They've all got good followers, isn't it? Some have got like a couple of 100 people watching them. How are you, Jojo? Darren, I never looked at it. Look that. I need to evaluate. His dad was right. You can either put your kid in a place to become a spiritual warrior that can defend himself if he needs to and avoid conflict if he has to. Or you can put your kid in a gaff that's chaotic, loud, violent, full of ego, not done, led by all different people. You got to just stand back a minute. You can either put your kid in there for 10 years and he will achieve black belts. He will be taught by my man. That same group of kids will develop all together. Not in different areas, better here, different there. It's not chaotic. It's calm, it's peaceful, it's controlled. Your kids are gaining wisdom. Your kids are gaining knowledge, experience by a very, very educated man in the spiritual world. Over there, it's textbook driven. What's the spirit over there? Dirty fight if you need to win. Hit him, lads, hit him, break him. That's what you're hearing in them gyms. Over there you'll be hearing, avoid it, don't let him get near you. Attack, avoid. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whereas over there, get him, go in, lad, take it. They don't give a if he gets his nose bladdered and stuff. Over there it's not about ruining your kid's physicality. It's about getting them ready for this universe. And that spirit there knows, that martial art knows it's within, that matters with your children. You put your kid in a dojo with some karate expert who's 6'10" and being in that field for all his life, your kid will become a very respectful young man with the skills and the attributes to defend himself and his wife in this horrible world. And that's a fact. If you put your kid over there in that chaotic ex-drug dealer MMA centre, trust me, he's going to end up chaotic. He's going to end up aggressive. He's going to have an ego of a drug dealer. He's going to have the materialistic inspiration of a drug dealer. All this mad shit. Why? Because you're going in these MMA places and they don't separate no one from no one. It's the same with the boxing centres, and I've always fumed about it. They don't separate your local drug dealers who are coming in to just be able to fight on the streets from the kid that wants to be a champion. And when you've got this kid that wants to be a champion, watching this dickhead with a Rolex and a Boss car outside and everyone's respecting him because he's a gunman in the area and everyone's scared of him. This is a bad influence on your kids. It's the same in the MMA world. It's a bad influence for your kids because the kids are looking at these. And the attitude and the ego on them. They shouldn't be in this fighting arena with that thing round them. So look, if you're at a boxing gym here and you want to join the gym, come in. What's your purpose? I want to be a champion. I want to be this, I want to be that. Okay. You get over there into that champion's corner where no one deals drugs, where all the lads have got jobs, where they all got a different mentality. This kid could, what do you want to be? I just want to be able to fight. I want to be able to let me anger out. I want to be there. Well, you just get over there, kid. Because you're going to disrupt the work we're doing with our champions. No one's doing it. Same with the MMAs. Coming in, what do you want to do? Yeah, go and all get on the mat. Everyone on the mat. You'll have kids inspiring to be the next St. George Pierre, and then you'll have kids trying to be Darren Till. It's not going to work. Why? Because the Darren Tills of St. George Pierre's. So you have two venues. You want to be a champion. You want your son to be a champion. You just go this side. You just want to be all with a name for yourself. Want to get punched up in a boxing ring, sparring. Okay, you just go over here. Separate them. Two different breeds. Don't make them all one breed, because that's what's happening on our estates. Ignore the haters in here, people. Ignore the haters. I'm just making valid points. Valid points are, especially if you've got daughters. Don't bang your daughter in gym where they're getting her face smashed in by lads. She's wrestling with lads, is she? She's becoming a man. Bang her over there where she's getting that of fish and Mike the Spark. Let's see what he's saying. He seems to be hating. Talking about the message. No hate from anyone, but we all need to be wary on this app. What are you talking about? Who's the instigator of this conversation, people? Now I'm onto it. I'm off. I will try again. Thanks to the people who just judge straight away. Wonder why I try. Yeah, don't come back, weirdo. Self-centered little fart. Yes, honey bear. Get out of here, mate. You stink. Your breath stinks. Your eyes look like you're on smack. Coming here, yeah. No one gets and run down here somewhere, lad. Have a bifter. Have a bevy with Billy Moore. Go and get a brass with him because he's steaming. Go and loiter around Shield Road, not like you're not a fair bet. Yes, crisis management. Irish Martin. Jill, Louis B, Chevin, Claire K, Kelly Emma. How long was he in here? Don't be harsh, Daz, you're better than that, says PJ. It's not harsh when you've got a thing in there causing murder, questioning the message. It's weird going on like he's met me or writing me off because I'm not looking at the comments. Lucky I got on him. The shit he was chatting. My people defending me not even noticing. Thanks everyone. And this is what's happened on this occasion. What you've witnessed over the last few weeks with this English and these stalkers and that. This has happened about 3 or 4 times before, right? I'm not lying. It happened a couple of times, this shit. Then couple of times, I've had to defend myself against the whole fucking world, mate. Everyone. 1 or 2 people kept the faith. This time round, I haven't had to fight by myself. I've had people backing me. I've had loads of people going, whoo, nah, shh. So the battle was easy. Why? Because he had people believing me instead of believing the people that are coming at me. So it made it well easier for me to overcome and just keep on cracking on. I'm going to be serious, I had a wobble, but then I'd see videos, no, Darren never said, you know, backing me and go, yes, people believe me this time. It's mad, you know, when you're being honest and people are just going, he's lying, just like that. Would you give me a no rules in the ring, I say, Darren? Why would I have done to you, mate? Do you just have to click? You just want to have me a scrap so you can get famous? I'm not famous, lad. I make people famous. It's different. If you want me to make you famous, how much are you going to pay me? Yes, Nicky Barry, Honey Bear. He's got 138 followers, fake account. It was a question, we answered it. Very bad, was I? Yes, Susie44. Would you give social media up? Yeah, if we had a decent wage. I don't really get wages off this, to be honest. But if I had money to do things in life, I wouldn't be on here. Simple as that. I'm on here more through boredom than earning money. Choose a life, not a knife is the real reason I'm on social media at all. If you can listen to my first podcast with that rat, but you can't see it. If you listen to it and listen to what I'm screaming 8 years ago on my first ever podcast, just go and hear what's coming out my mouth then and listen to what's coming out my mouth now, and you'll see he's just screaming, choose a life, not a knife, everywhere. Yes, see, you're spreading a really good message, Darren. People need to listen, lad. Not everyone. The youth. The lads. 14, 15, 16, 17. They need to listen. If they listen to this message, the lads, the youth, it's good for everyone. If I've got 3 or 4 kids on your estate listening to me, taking what I'm saying on board and rearranging their ways, it's good for everyone. It's good for the girl that they meet. It's good for his community. It's good for his family. It's good for everyone if that kid starts listening to me. Why? He'll treat women different. He'll treat his community different. And most of all, he'll treat himself different. They're treating themselves like shit. It doesn't matter if they wear a coat here and all this. Eventually, the head starts causing trouble because they're treating themselves like shit. Loads of lads just treating themselves like junkies and that. And it's horrible what they're doing to themselves. And that's what it is. It's a cycle of events. It's a generational cycle. Life is cycle. Loads of little cycles amongst big cycles, massive cycles, tiny cycles, all a cycle. And it's a repetition because you're taught that way from school. Repeat, 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 repeat. That creates the cycle. We need to break that shit for the generation underneath us. If we've got a generation of drug takers and drug dealers, we're creating a new generation of drug dealers and drug takers. And everything that comes with it. The gun crime, the burglaries, the robberies, the family breakdown, the addictions, all of it. Imprisonments, fatalities, injuries, lifelong injuries. All from drug dealing and drug taking. So if you can affect drug dealing, drug taking, you're affecting your community massively. And choose a life, not a knife. Yeah, it is. Don't self-harm. That's where it kicked in. And it is. Don't use knives. And it is. Don't play with guns. And it is. Don't deal drugs. And it is. Don't get involved in organised crime groups. And it is. Don't kill young kids on the streets. And this is where it's everything. And that's how it's developed over the years. It's like every year it's on to something more important. It's landed where it is because in my eyes, it's took me to this space because this is the most important space to be addressing. And no one's in this space, just me addressing it. And that is the organised crime groups, which develop from your community. That organised crime group of 40, 45, 50-year-old men who are my age does not exist in the future without your son who's floating around on his sun with his little weed phone. That organised crime group will have him in it in 27 years or something. And it's a bad way to be. You've seen what they're doing to the city. You know, organised crime groups thrive through drug supply. 75% of every organised crime group's profit, if not more, is through drug supply. That drug supply is on your estates to your children. It's not all to 40-year-old cokeheads. The majority of the drug supply in your city is going to 15-year-olds, 30-year-olds and in between. Do you understand what I mean? And some can just take a little bit of white on a weekend after work and manage that. But the majority of people on the streets don't manage their drugs addictions and everything comes with it. You've got them groups of potheads down there that sell it. And then you've got them group of potheads down there that smoke it. Them potheads there are creating them ones. They are kicking your door in, taking your car keys off the side. They are snatching that watch off your daughter when she comes out of that hairdresser's. They are letting shots off at people. Do you understand what I mean? It's just an ongoing cycle. If you don't break it, for some reason we're all encouraging kids to get on the broccoli, let's call it that. We're all encouraging kids to get on it. Us real and know what damage that does to us. We're looking at it going, hang on, why are they encouraging these to get on the weed? Look how many kids started smoking weed themselves up because of him, all encouraging them. You got your Conor McGregors, yeah, just destroying people. The influence. I've smoked weed all my life. Had a nice 12 years off whilst in custody. Come back out abused it, come back off it. Now I have a joint when I want. I have a joint if I'm struggling to sleep, which I do all the time, but I don't smoke it all the time. I'll have a big fat ping and put my head on the pillow and have a sleep that I haven't had for time. Do you understand? But you'll never ever, and you won't have ever heard me on here when I'm going through them mad weed stages. You've never heard me on here encouraging your son. You've never seen me on here popping off the side blazing or doing this or doing that. You won't have heard me ever encouraging your kids to get on the weed. Been discouraging it from the get-go. Why? Because I know the damage it done to me. It made me dependent on them. It was them that gave me my first joint. It was them that made me take a whitey. It was them I was appealing to when I needed another spliff. Now they have me dependent on them. I'm running around like a blue-ass fly. Why? So I can get a weed at the end of the day off them. And once your kid's on that same little horrible path of dependency on the weed, he's getting ruined. He's getting ruined. He's going to get used and abused by someone older than him that's been 10 years smoking weed, knows exactly what they're dealing with here. He's using the drugs as a way of cushioning him. Valid point, mate. Valid point. Obviously no one else is going to tell you kids. Why? Because they're all after the dough. Everyone was tapping into money, 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 money. I don't need to tell you anyway. You know, there's loads of you there. Yes, Stu's, Susie, Bruce, hope you're all well tonight, Lauren. Some of you have experienced it. Decent little daughter, decent little son. Everything's boss about them. Just the way you want them. They go out to a fezzy or start mixing with that firm down there. Before you know it, they have one joint or have one go of this substance and stick with the broccoli. Something's giving you a little angst. He's moving a bit wrong. How come what's going on with him? Not getting out of bed the way he used to. Coming in a bit late. Not brushing his teeth or getting himself in sweet when he's going out the door and shit. It's the weed taking it. Starting to impact. Now he's ignoring you. You're asking him to get back in at these times. He's coming in late, disturbing the kids, disturbing you, disturbing your family home. This is all new. This is all out of character of your kid, this. It's the weed. You mightn't know he's smoking it yet. Why? Because you haven't found out. But his behaviour pattern, that change, is indicating he's taking something. And it's normally weed. Why? Because weed, your character after the first week. It'll have you happy, munchied up for a day, and then bang, character change kicks in. Years ago when we started, you'd have 3-4 months. And then the addiction would kick in. And then all that's gone. Your appetite's gone. You're not getting the munchies no more. You was using it to sleep. Now you're using it to function through the day. That was years ago. Now, your kids get that. For a week, then the addiction kicks in. Bang. Everything starts changing on them. The foods they once liked, they're not getting it. Them wholesome meals that you used to give them every 5 o'clock. Now they're eating shit. These are all telltale signs that your kid's developing an addiction and you're just not aware of it yet. And because you're not recognising the signs for whatever reasons, when it does come to fruition, shit has hit the fan. You've got horrendous problems going on with your family now. Why? Because his addiction's out. It's not hidden. Trust me that. Honestly, and I mean trust me on them shouts. Trust me on them shouts. If you've got kids and the character's changed, something's going on. Especially your daughters. Could be a multitude of reasons, but we won't go into it. I don't want to lose my platform. It's 1 o'clock. Yes, Scouse La. Aaron, what do you do then? Choose a life, not a knife. Oh, what do you mean? What do you do then? See? What do you do if you see your kid changing his character? Mooch his room. Mooch your room. Don't be scared to go in your kids' rooms, like your teenagers' rooms. Everything you need to know is in there. Everything you need to know what your kids are up to is in that room. Yes, mate. Jojo, especially when they're young, and that's where you want to get on it. Get on it, 15, 16, go in, you'll find a lighter, you'll find skins, you'll find something indicating something is not right. Just go in. If half of your shirts are visibility restricted, I've only been on for a few hours. What have I spoke about that's wrong? Have I said anything wrong here? When you've heard me, I might have spoke about a few people earlier on, but that's as a sport, pundit type thing. But now I'm just speaking about shit, which is massively important for your kids and you as parents. And they're trying to get me cut down. It's an exhausted mindset, which makes you tired. And that's what you're looking at. Someone that's been under a duration of consistent targeting by groups of people that know what they're doing on social media. If you've ever had a platform shut down, think about it, right? I've had multiple YouTube channels shut down, and one of them I've spent something like, I don't know, 5,000 hours worth creating that channel, editing me all, learning on the job, doing all my own editing, going out getting all my own content. I haven't got a clue about guidelines and rules and this, so when they're coming in at me from behind, I can't defend myself, so I'm losing platforms. That's took me 2 years to build. Gone. Start again. 2,000 hours. Gone. Again. Another 2,000 hours. Gone. That's just on YouTube. Never mind me TikToks and my Instagrams that have been cancelled on me by the same firm multiple times, with all them hours work, all them going up and down the country, putting content in, spending me money on it, not getting nothing back. When I'm starting to see the stream, the payback, shut down. So it is what it is. That on top of everything else off social media, you're only seeing bits. You're only seeing idiots on social media targeting me. You're not seeing the gunman with the mask shooting people sat next to me. You're not seeing that. And that takes a lot of strength to get past. In the sense of not going out, losing your emotions, committing a murder, getting yourself lifed off, engaging in criminal activities again. All this is why I'm mentally, basically, tired, exhausted. Must have had 2 breakdowns. I've had 2 breakdowns. Mental ones. Come back, tired, broke down. You've seen it, you've watched it, mate. If you've been watching me over the years, you've seen me in bad places. That's a mental breakdown. I've just been showing you it. I got out of jail, and the only thing I had to communicate with was this. I had 55 people on my no contact list. Every one of my family was on it. If I contacted them, I go to prison. So I'm just isolated with a phone and no one but a gym round the corner, called a CrossFit gym. And then the police destroyed that on me. Saying, like, they went round the gym and said, Do you understand the risk it's at? Do you understand what's going on here? Do you understand the conflict of interest while he's training here? So there must have been feds training in there, you know, from St. Helens. And that's what they meant by a conflict of interest, because there's feds in there who could be investigating me down the line. And if it comes out that we were in the same gym and all this shit, it's mad, you know, what's gone on with me. And it continues today. I was meant to get out of prison with this wife and just off and have kids and get a little job and get a business, get me savings and just become what I was becoming. But it just went wrong from the get-go. And I've just been defending myself right through it. If I wouldn't have defended myself the way I have, yeah, you've seen video of me ranting and raving. That's me defending myself. Give a mate. Go and watch what most of me ranting and raving's about. Who's it about? English. Go on, just go and have a look. They're all out there. That's what they were doing. Putting it about like I'm just targeting English like some little making out I'm this little envious kid who's all jealous and all this mad shit that was weird. Yes, happy go lucky. Just weird, mate. Mad how they all come at me. And in the process of me defending myself, I'm not defending myself like I used to. Doesn't mean I'm weak. Means I'm clever. Anyone who defends themselves the way I used to is jailbait. You make things worse. Retaliation is a negative. Doesn't matter how you look at the word. Retaliate means an escalation in proceedings. So if you're going, the first thing you're thinking is retaliation with violence. It's an escalation. It's not a solving problem method. Darren, I'm not up this time like I did last time. Been stupid. But I'm also not going to sit there like a mute and let people call me these horrendous names, which is just entirely against me and who I am. And everyone was coming at me who was relevant in my life. And what's that? Social media? Think about it like that. I popped up, landed on social media, and a circle of rats just circled me. They've been on social media for 15 years. This is like all in the first year with me. Honest, I was the most watched person in a year on YouTube and all this shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just think about that platform I had. Why the fuck would I want to jeopardise that over some... You know when someone does what they were doing to me, and I knew what they were doing to me, and I'm going, no way, wow, I'm screaming. And no one's believing me. Why? Because they're in the game for years. And they've got this sort of reputation as if they're good people. Know what I mean? Mad, mate. Proper scatty what went on, you know. You've seen it with loads of other kids though, haven't you? I have. You mightn't look at it the way I look at it. I've seen loads of lads getting out of jail thinking it's a good thing to jump on these podcasts. And if it ruins them, mate. I'm not on about I'm on about mentally. They're not ready for the comebacks, the backlash. If you've been, it's just, they prey on them type of individuals, they look for them. So look, I'm doing things with Sean Atwood, and he's not telling me he's writing to Danny. Okay? So think about it. I'm doing things with Sean Atwood, being interviewed, doing this content with him, paying me £150 an hour to do it with him. This is what he was doing.
But at the same time, he's writing to me brother, buttering him up for his first interview. Going to suck him dry and leave him in a mess like he did with me. These little slimy things, this is what they do. Do you understand? What jail's your brother at? Oh, he's in that jail. 8 months down the line, slipped in it. Oh yeah, I'm right, I write it, Danny. Oh. Buttering them up. Probably sending them postal orders. But what's his agenda there? Is it to turn him against me? Or is it to elevate his platform? Do you know what I'm saying? Don't forget, Sean Atwood put me through horrendous shit alongside English. I think I was used like a little pawn, to be honest with you. You know, hindsight. So I think like when English, and this is just me again thinking, it's not confirmed, just thinking, when English sent me all these details about the other fella's cases in America, and there was these offences on there that suggested he was this particular type. I've still got it all. I've still got all of it. Every one in there I've got. But I think it might have been deliberate for me to drag him into a thing we're in, which created the YouTube war title. And both of them benefited while I was just getting wrote off.
And every time I can get through it and start flowing again, the other fella will pop back up and derail me, and I'm off again. No fault really. Why? Because I kept on giving these people chances. Naive. So Atwood came into my life through some weird kid from Manny. Some weird kid. And a load of madness going on. I started writing a book, and this weird kid said, I can get in touch with this fella. He's interested in your book, I think. So he came down, Atwood, and you see me doing an interview with him years ago, where I'm stood by a canal. And he's asking about me, and he's asking about Danny. Little 10-minute video somewhere on a canal. You'll see it on somewhere, it's out there. I've got it. You know where I've kept it myself. But it's in an iCloud on my laptop, so I can't be arsed with for it. But from that, on that day, he's went, let's look at your book. And it weren't fully written, the book. And this is me trying to get my life together with me and spirit. That's why I haven't started a book, because he pulled the rug. It just like killed the energy surrounding the book. Ruined it, if you understand what I'm saying. So I've done like 12, 13 chapters of this book, and there's going to be 90 or something in it. Do you get what I'm saying? And he's took it to read it, and then he was going to let me know very fast if he'd invest it and he want to buy it and give me money for it and shit. We went missing for 18 months. Wouldn't answer me calls, wouldn't answer the messages. Every time I tried to get it, he'd say, send me an address. I told him I'm not giving no one my address for the safety concerns. So when I eventually got in touch with him, I've told you send me address. I've told you I couldn't do it. And that was his legitimate excuse to avoid me for 12 months without anything from him. 18 months without anything. Sort of forgot him, to be honest with you. And then I've done a podcast with English. And the next day, he's on me. What's happening, mate? I've got your book. Any chance of an interview? I'll bring your book down. I'll give you your book and you come down. So I'm like, I want my book. I just wanted my book, so yeah, go ahead then. Done this interview with him. Got my book back. Do you understand what I'm saying? Didn't want to know about the book. Why? Because of the Farley's names, basically. Masons. And then from then on in, it's like they just went out. deliberately. It's like they wanted. I think Atwood was the craftiest, or I think he was sincere. Then became when he started mixing with like Dougie Joyce and this. That's when I really left Atwood behind. When I seen he was, I've got all these people cancelling me, and then Atwood's mixing with them, and then still trying to mix with me. Thanks to you, mate, to that. And that's what I'm like, people, if you haven't been cancelled, I'm not an helmet, you know. I've just got integrity, that's all it is with me. I will not sit there with a kid that sat there with my enemy who's tried to ruin me 6 months before. I'm not their enemy, they're my enemy. I'm not trying to ruin them. They came to ruin me. I just defended myself. So when you're seeing helmets like that, wouldn't that? Mixing right into your brother, still mixing with these rats who are trying to make them put yourself on the ceiling. That was their intention. They tried their hardest to make me mentioning all shit, triggering words and that. I know, mate, and I'm talking truth. It's always the case with me, I'm not lying, I'm not here targeting no one. People are asking, I'm going, yeah, that's what happened. It's all experience though, people. You know, I could have done what they wanted. Returned to crime. Dealt with them criminally. Like that. And this is what happens when you're on a powerful journey. A lot of yous are on your own little powerful journeys, and you let them drag you off, and you get embroiled in the bullshit, and you and during that you don't come back from it. I've come back from it because that's what I've had to do since a kid. That's what us kids are like. Us kids like getting dragged into care and that. If we're not on substances, we're next level, we're different. Even when we're on substances, we're still different. You'll get that kid who's dragged through care, handling his addiction 10 times better than the kid that's not. Just built different. So I've always had that ability to come back. And what helps you? Truth. Honest. Truth, Learn to live by the truth and your life will be great. Might be horrendous, why? Because there's loads of liars. You're one of them as you're growing up, you're taught to lie by your mother and father. They'll slap the shit out of you for lying, but they teach you how to lie. It's great, innit? Don't teach your kid how to lie. It's alright to have a little fantasy. Crimbo, Easter, and all the other tooth fairy bullshit. That's lies, bro, you're understanding it. And you're telling your kid, this big man's coming down your chimney, and you haven't got a chimney. This is lying to your kid for years. And you remember when you found out Christmas wasn't Christmas. Why? Because you broke your heart, didn't it? Why? Because mum and dad have been lying to you all your life. All of a sudden you spot them wrapping the Christmas presents up. Where's Father Christmas? Why are you wrapping these up? That's it, you little lies. Why? Because the lie came to an end. What that does to you as a kid. As you're growing up, you lie to me, I'll lie to you. Stop lying. Don't lie to me about Christmas and Easter. I haven't seen nothing rabbit running around with Easter eggs. I haven't seen a tooth fairy popping through my window there with a £20 note. So we encourage the lies, innit?